right, I think we are good to begin. So, I welcome you all for the next module of your entire SOC training course from the SIM experts, and that is the EDR. So, to be specific, we are the entire module is something that we'll be covering for CrowdStrike Falcon. So, it's CrowdStrike EDR. Okay. So, as you see this subject in the slide, or you see the title in the slide, it is titled as Mastering the CrowdStrike with the EDR. Okay. We are here to begin from the basics until go all the way to the advanced level of using Falcon CrowdStrike as an EDR as a SOC analyst. So when I say SOC analyst, it'll be including different kind of roles. Like we'll be covering some of the admin activities, we'll be covering some of the SOC activities, we'll be covering some of the other cyber related activities which I'm going to explain as in our sessions as we keep going. All right. So that is the reason why we, instead of calling it as the training, we more of calling it, we call it as a kind of a workshop. Okay, so in this particular course, after completion of 3 to 4 weeks on the EDR, you will be in a position that, like, I am confident on using the CrowdStrike EDR from the basics till all the way becoming an expert. Like I would say, from the L1 till the level 3 in the Security Operations Center. With that being said, I would like to introduce here myself. So, as you all know, this is Arvind, and I'm going to be your instructor for cybersecurity EDR course from the SIM experts for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Coming to my experience, I have close to 10 years of experience working in the cyber industry. I'm currently working as incident response manager. I do have different experience working in the different level of cybersecurity operations center. I started my career with SOC L1, and then I've been in the different levels like L2, L3. I have been an administrator, and finally I'm the incident response manager. Well, that's about my professional experience. And coming to the relation with some experts, I have been with the sim experts for almost like here, getting little over 3.5 years now. um, I have covered almost 600 and plus security enthusiasts till now, and I'm very excited to be to be a mentor for you all through this batch. So I'm very well excited. Hope same is with you all. With that being said, I would like to begin with the next part of the introduction. All right. So in this entire workshop, or in the entire duration of 4 to 3 weeks or 5 weeks, like whatever the time it takes, we will be covering the domains that you are seeing on the screen there. Right? So the first domain is like the core domain, which is EDR. Actually stands for
Endpoint Detection Response.
perfect. So that would be our main course. And I mean, that is what the main subject that we'll be focusing throughout this particular workshop. Along with that, we will be covering some other domains. I mean, when I say domain, not into the in-depth or not to the, complete details of those domains. Example, if you take threat hunting, we'll not be speaking about, in-depth of threat hunting, but we will try to touch base on threat hunting skill set and how do we do the threat hunting with using the Falcon EDR. And same goes with the threat intelligence. We'll be covering the ABCs of threat intelligence, and we'll see how we can leverage the CrowdStrike EDR or the feature of CrowdStrike EDR intelligence during our investigation or to perform threat hunting or to perform any other activities during your investigation. So likewise, we'll be starting with the EDR, and then we'll be covering the SOC, which is Security Operations Center, and we'll also see how an incident responder use Falcon instance to respond to an incident. So most of the security operations center will be looking at how they'll be investigating the alert and how they'll be containing the alert. And at the same time, when it comes to the IR side, how they use this particular Falcon instance for responding to an alert, to an attack, right? And likewise, I mean, like we just said, we will be touch basing with threat hunting, threat intelligence, and we'll also be doing malware analysis. Malware analysis again using the EDR. And these are the major 6 domains that we will be covering in this particular entire workshop. And along with that, the main agenda or the something that we keep more focused is to cover or to get more details of the EDR from the interview perspective. So let's say I'm covering EDR, like what kind of interview questions that you can actually expect related to CrowdStrike. And if you're going to be as a SOC analyst, what kind of interview? So in end of the each and every topic, we will mostly put on some of the important topics, or we'll give you some of the important questions which are like interview focused, right? So that it'll be easy for you all to expect like what kind of questions that you may experience in the interview, and that will definitely help you to boost your performance during the interview. That is what we hope for. So those are the kind of agenda that I have in this particular entire workshop to deliver for you all and make you all very clear on these topics. All right. Perfect. So let me cover a little bit, or let me take a minute and then explain the orientation of the entire the course. So as you see, I'm the one who actually designed this particular entire workshop from the beginning, from the SIEM experts, from last like 4 years now. Um, so as you see here, we'll not just stick to the theory, we'll not just stick to the practicals, right? The labs. It's a kind of workshop where it is like mostly 45% we'll be sticking to the theory, and 55% will be on the lab, or with the we'll be doing the hands-on, right? So along with that, we will be having a dedicated time for Q&A, and the best part, we'll also be having break period for like 15 minutes between the course, like whenever it is possible, right? So again, I would like to put out one more point here. So as I already mentioned in the chat that we have, we will be having this particular session on every Saturday and Sunday, okay, for coming weeks. And we will be starting the session at 8:30 a.m. IST, and we'll be closing it at 11:30 a.m. IST. All right, let me repeat that again. We will be having this particular session on weekends, which is Saturday and Sunday, and we will begin our session at 8:30 and we'll close it at 11:30. And we will also have like 10 to 15 minutes of break as we required. The one important point that I have to make you all very clear. I do understand when we are going through some of the topics, you all will definitely come across some of the questions, right? Of course, I do, you do, everybody does. Um, what I want you is whenever you come across such questions, see, most probably by the end of every 30 minutes of speaking or 40 minutes of speaking, I'll definitely ask for some questions. I mean, I will give you some time for any of the questions that if you have, right? So you can use or leverage that period to put your questions or to ask your questions. Or the second thing is, whenever you come across any question in the topic, you can always use the chat section in the Zoom, right? And you can put the question. So I'll give first importance for the chat, the questions in the chat. I'll read them, and then only I'll go for asking the questions in the group, right? Again, I'm not discouraging or I'm not asking you to do not ask the questions in between. I do understand there will be some situations where you need to get the clarity on the at that particular moment, right? So for those, definitely you are always welcome to unmute yourself and then put your questions. And that's the reason why we have never muted your audios, or we have not even did anything. You have the complete control over your audio. You can pitch in whenever you want, but make sure you are making a valid justifiable question to interrupt the session. All right, any questions there?
No, sir. You can go ahead.
um is it clear now, or is it like only for you that you hear it very low? Are you all clear with my audio? I just
Yes,
want.
it's
Yes, sir.
clear.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, it's clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's
Yes,
clear.
yes.
Okay, perfect. So, Saurav and Vikas, I'll try to speak a little bit louder. Just see if that works for you. All right. Okay. With that being said, let's get started. So again, I'm not a slide kind of a guy. I'll not be going through the every detail with the slide. So I'm gonna stop the slide presentation right here, and then we'll move to the board. And one more thing that I want to put it out really here is, again, we are not calling it as a training session. We are going to refer it as a more of a workshop, right? So I want you all, you know, I mean, I want this particular session to be more interactive. You know what I mean? So you guys feel free to speak. I mean, mostly try to keep it as like a two-way session, so that it'll be interesting. And you don't get feel bored like you just want to listen to my audio all the time. All right. So if you have any questions, or if you have like any, if I ask anything, mostly I'll be making it as like interactive, right? So feel free to unmute yourself, and then try to, answer or speak, or whatever you feel comfortable with. The next thing, maybe did I forget anything to put? No. Okay. Again, no sir, nothing in the session. Feel free to call me by name. Okay, that's how I feel more happy to respond. So just feel free to call me by name. All right, with that, I'm going to uh, get onto the initial beginning. So give me a minute. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me pull up the board. I'm almost there. Hey, just give me one more minute. It's taking longer than I expected to pull it up. I just share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see it.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it's visible.
All right, perfect. So let's begin with our introduction course. So again, it is a day one, so I would like to keep it really slow, really simple, and we'll be covering really basic concepts today. So the people who are already in the cybersecurity domain might, feel this session or the day one might be very boring because these are the concepts which already they have already covered or which they are already aware of. So, but however, in this particular group, we have different people with different backgrounds. So few may be completely new to the cybersecurity, few, may be completely new to the EDR, few may be like completely new to the entire IT industry. So because of that reason, I would like to leverage this particular first session to get you all onto the same page, and so that you do also get some time to understand my pitch, the way I speak, because now you are switching from Shulab to Arvind, right? So this transition will just help me to, or will help, I hope, will help all of us to get that. um what do you call that? Get that period where we all understand ourselves and get the better band, what do you call this, wavelength or something, that we keep going. All right. We'll begin with the basics. Okay, we'll begin with the very basic of our session, which is EDR. So what actually an EDR is? What
endpoint
actually EDR
detection
stand?
and response. It detects and gives the response.
That's correct. So it actually stands for endpoint detection and response, right? So let's try to understand from the first letter, which is E. Let's try to begin understanding the entire EDR module from the endpoint. Okay, so the endpoint. So what do you understand by endpoint? So yeah, what do you think is an endpoint is?
I think it can be an application.
Hmm.
A machine that
Application.
is
Okay.
Devices,
a PC
computers.
and
Okay.
mobile device.
Server.
Good. Any other?
Uh,
The tool.
We can say network devices.
Hmm.
Anything to which we can connect to and get a response from.
Interesting. Good one. Any other thoughts? All right. I think all the responses are like valid and all are like um, good. So let me put it in a simple way. An endpoint is a device that connects to a network and saves the data in it. You're getting my point? put it in a different way. You all got the point what I'm trying to say? Endpoint is a device. Okay. Maybe, as you said, it could be an application or it would be something, but there should be an service. I mean, there should be an operating system to support that particular application, right? So, to simply put, endpoint is a device. It could be a physical device or a virtual device which can actually connect to the internet and transmit the information and share the information with it. It could be a virtual machine or it could be an actual machine. That is what we call it as an endpoint. You all got the point?
So that way, Arvind, that way everything is endpoint, like which is connecting to the internet and saves data.
Let's figure out the differences now. That's a good question, Kaur. So there is a question from Harika. Is there any notes for this particular concepts? So that's a good question you asked in the beginning. You guys only focus on the content and try to listen to the session. If you are interested, you can just make the notes for yourself. But I would say we have a material that we created for this particular workshop, which will have all the theoretical uh, topics that we discuss will go in there. You will find the each and every theory part in that particular document. And for technical aspects, we do have another documentation which you can directly download it from the portal. So I would say if when it comes to the notes, just it's up to you. I would say it is optional. If you can completely stay focused on the session, if you are still interested, you can still have your own notes, but we do have a material for it and we'll be providing you the I think I'll be sharing that particular material maybe by next week with you all. Is that clear, Harika Kalyani?
Yes, thank you so much, sir. And one thing from my side, is there any practical, like when we need to do like CrowdStrike for that? Practical section also is there.
100%. Most, I mean, theory is less and practical is more in this.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
All right, coming back to the question that Kaur asked. So everything that connects to the internet, can it be an endpoint? So let me, address this by gathering some of the examples of the endpoint. So when I say endpoint, can anybody give me an examples of endpoint with the kind of definition that I gave?
PC,
We can say
laptop.
desktop
Okay,
laptops,
okay, laptop and
Laptop,
desktop.
servers,
desktop, mobile,
Server,
Okay,
server.
application.
server,
I think virtual machine is also there.
mobile. Okay, virtual machine. So maybe I can just add one more VMs. Okay,
Hmm.
mobiles. What else? Tab, mobiles, VMs. Right, that is good, Kiran. Anything else that comes to your mind?
Proxy.
firewall can be included.
OT
Okay,
OT devices.
Fire SIM, firewall SIM.
OT devices. Very good. When we say OT devices, what are they?
So
URL.
PLC, SCADA, all these.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Only that?
Any like sensors which are controlling, let's say, like anything, door is opening when car is entering, stuff like that. All those things.
Good, good, good. OT devices, simply put that way. Or maybe I would also say IoT devices, the Internet of Things. It could be your uh, smartwatch, it could be your Alexa, it could be your um, smart cameras, it could be your voice over IP. Okay, sorry for that. IPv phones, it could be your sometimes the other devices, which again we'll cover that. So now the question, I mean, you all know like what all the devices those are actually the endpoints, like a laptop where you can actually connect, do the work, and you can connect to the internet, you can store the information, and you can, that we all know, like laptop, desktop, VMs, servers, mobile devices, OT devices, all the things are part of endpoint, right? The smartwatches, smart speakers, the recently in the infotainment system in the cars, and what do you call say, like uh, what else? Other IPv phones, IP-based cameras, right? There are many a number of things that we call it or consider as an endpoint. Now let's see what are the things that are not considered as an endpoint. So now let's take a switch, okay? Network switch, okay? And also you can take router for example. So switch and router are the devices which connect to the network, right? They connect to the network, isn't it? And they share the information. They have the capability to connect from peer to peer. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But can they share your data? Can you share your data on switch?
No.
No.
Can you save your data on router?
No.
No.
Can you save your data on a firewall?
No.
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 Now you got the difference between what is an endpoint and what is not an endpoint.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Are you all clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's good.
Everybody. So simply put, if anybody asks what is an endpoint, just give them this. Endpoint is a device which can connect to the internet and which can store the information of a user in it is something referred as an endpoint. And examples, you have plenty of them. All clear? Now, why do we need to secure an endpoint? Sorry. Why do you all think that we need to secure endpoint? Why is it so important?
Because it has we store data in it, so
Mhm.
which is our first priority to save that data.
Okay.
To
Versus data.
prevent from unauthorized access.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
So to protect the integrity of data, non-tampering.
Mm-hmm. Okay. To understand this better, I mean, I do agree with all your points that you mentioned there. So to, create some scenario, let's consider your mobile device as an endpoint. Okay. Imagine, imagine a situation where I have access to your phone in the back end. You're getting my point? Imagine I have access to your mobile device and I have access to each and every file that you have on it. I have access to each and every piece of data that it has. I have access to each and every application that you have on it. So what do you think about that situation?
It's hacked.
Yeah, but how do you feel about it? Like,
So no privacy.
like you will be completely inconfident to use the device, and you will be scared because mobile device is the device where we have all your financials, personal, and whatnot. Everything related to our individual is something that is there in the phone, right? And imagine you are leaving the phone without locking it, right? You don't feel enough confident, right? And the next thing is, it the data that is there in your phone is your intellectual property, isn't it? It's your identity. It's you actually. And any effect to that particular data is something that gonna impact you directly, right? Let's say somebody stole your banking details, that gonna impact on your finances. Somebody stole your personal details, that gonna impact you, on your identity and reputation. Somebody, you know, tried to impersonate yourself and then using your number and then sharing all the malware using your WhatsApp number or something. Imagine. So we as an individual, we have so much of dependence, or we have our complete data on the endpoint. Like your phone is your identity. You got the point? Now, imagine the same thing with an organization. When it comes to an organization, it's the same thing. We all work over the wire, over the network, right? All our data is transmitted through the wires and stay stored somewhere in any of the endpoint. It could be your laptop, it could be your server, it could be, a database, it could be anything. It could be a network drive, it could be a SharePoint, whatnot. So somewhere you are storing an endpoint, you're storing a data on an endpoint. And if you don't secure it properly, like your property is stolen because the data is nothing but our identity is your intellectual property. Now imagine you all you all use one of the banking sector. Let's say we all use SBI. Let's say we have accounts in all our accounts, SBI in all of our accounts. And you heard a news that SBI got breached and the servers were insecure, not properly compliant, non-compliant, and you heard all the news about it. Would you feel secure enough to continue with that particular bank further? Continue your relationship with that particular bank further?
No.
I'm not saying any particular bank, I'm just taking it as an example, right? So, of course, you'll not feel that confident, right? Because money, it's your property, it's your everything that you did. That is what we all work for, right? And if we don't take any risk for that particular situations or for that particular matters, right? Now, imagine your company data is like not secure and it got exposed somewhere. I- Your company would be collapsed, right? You'll be everywhere on the internet, your stock goes down, and clients will not see you as secure, and they don't feel confident in you. They can't share your data with you, and of course you'll be losing all the clients. But at the end of the day, you will be losing your business. You all got the point?
Yes, sir.
So that is the main reason, like we all need to secure the endpoint. And again, this is not something new. We have been doing it from the decades, right? Let me tell you an example. So when it comes to securing an endpoint, what is the first thing that comes in your mind? When I say endpoint security, you have to secure an endpoint. What is the first thing that comes in your mind?
Antivirus.
Perfect. There you go. Okay. Next. Any other
Physical
options?
security,
No, securing an endpoint. I'm saying like securing an endpoint.
harder controls, robust controls.
hmm Like the proper authorization or authentication system and policies, right?
Yeah.
What else? All right. Let's take antivirus, like what we actually will begin with the antivirus. Like, is there anybody can remember when was the first time that they used the antivirus or they heard of antivirus?
Long ago.
When
Yeah, but like any
I bought
year
my
or that
first
year good.
laptop.
Yeah, do you remember the year? I mean, that is of
2007.
course
Like
you're still in 2000s. Okay, anybody from 1980s or somebody? All right, don't take it. Um, I would say few decades. Okay, so the antivirus, I think, let me see the actual year. So the antivirus was created in 1972. Okay, it been like, and Avast, the well-known vendors, Avast, Sophos, they were launched in 1988. It almost like, you know, it's going to be like 40 decades now. Sorry, 4 decades now. All right, that's how old the antivirus is. So that is one of the first antivirus, I mean, one of the first tool that we all know to secure an endpoint. Because whenever we get a new laptop or whenever we use our workstation, the first thing that people going to ask is, do you have an endpoint on it or not? Sorry, do you have an antivirus on it or not? Because that was the kind of importance that we have given for securing an endpoint. Still, I do remember when I bought my first laptop, nobody even asked like what kind of configuration I have, whether I have like professional Windows or I have a proper operating system or not. The first thing that people ask like, hey, which antivirus did you get? And even I think I remember using a cracked Windows on my laptop, but I went and purchased the proper licensed version of antivirus on it. I mean, that's the kind of importance that we have been giving for securing an endpoint from decades, from the years to now. All right. So the first endpoint security tool that we all know is antivirus, right? So let's take a um, look into the endpoint security from there itself. Like we'll see what antivirus is, like what kind of different options we had and we have, and how this particular antivirus got evolved, like evolution of endpoint security tools, and where are we currently? Excuse me, and where are we currently right now, and how that trend is actually going and what is the future when it comes to endpoint security. So antivirus. So there are two antiviruses that are available. First one is traditional, and next one is, maybe I can call it, I mean, next gen antivirus, right? So first try to look into the traditional antivirus. Can anybody help me how antivirus works?
It works based on the signatures.
Very good. What is a signature?
Hash codes.
You said hash, right?
Can be an
Mhm.
IP, I mean host or any domains.
Okay, domain. Hmm.
Any predefined rules?
Not rules.
Ports.
Correlation.
Hmm. No, let me put that way. A signature is something that indicates any of the file, any of the domain, or any of the IP address, or any of the script, or any of the code. That is what we call it as signature. So let's see like what this particular, I mean, we all know what's the domain, what's the IP, we all know it, right? Let's focus on something called as hash. let's see what is an hash. Can anyone help me with that? What is an hash? Or maybe I can call it as file hash. What is file hash?
Exact file size.
Actual
So
file
Actually,
name.
File name.
Hash is like a value that we use to check the integrity of the file.
Okay, what is that value? What is it?
It's an alphanumeric value
Good.
that will be created using
Unique
some
value will be
algorithm
created for
it's
it.
unique
using
value.
SHA or MD5.
That's perfect. So a file hash is a fixed length of alphanumeric string, right? Which is generated by applying some of the algorithms, mathematics, like they usually call it as cryptographic functionalities, which includes MD5, SHA-1. Have you guys heard of it?
Yes.
Yes, SHA-256.
SHA-256. So these are the different kind of algorithm, and based on your operating system, based on like what you're using, based on that, your files will be converted, or they'll, I mean, every file will have a signature generated. I mean, sorry, not a signature. Every file will have a hash generated based on the contents of the file, right? It's not just based on the file name. It's not just based on the file format. It's not just based on like whether it's a Windows, Word, or is it PowerPoint. Not based on that. It is based on the content, file content. I mean, the contents of the particular file. Now, let's say you have, let's say I'll take Harika's resume, okay? So Harika has updated her resume in, let's say, 2024, okay? Now, in her resume, there'll be certain points which are actually related till 2024, right? Till 2024, she will have that particular resume saved on her machine. So when the file is saved with that particular date, based on the contents that she had, she'll be getting a hash value. I mean, the file will have an hash value when she click on save, right? Now, next in 2025, would definitely have something that Harika need to add up to her resume, right? Maybe some investigations, maybe some achievements, maybe some certification, something that she needs this particular resume need to be updated, isn't it? So when she updates her resume in 2025, what is she going to update? The contents of the file. You're getting my point? She is going to add something or modify something or remove something, or basically what what she will be doing, she will be modifying the contents of the file. You all getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So when
yes.
she changes, or when, let's say, when she adds a new point to her resume in 2025, her hash value gets
Changed.
changed. I mean, not her, I mean like file's hash value will be changed. Now you understand what this particular hash is indication of? So now let's say if Harika's resume, which is there in 2024, has some malicious script on it, okay, in 2024, or maybe let me put this way, in 2024, this is Harika's resume, which is like very clean and very neat, and it does not has any malware, it does not have any malicious scripts or anything. But in 2025, her resume got exposed to the internet, and somebody injected a malicious code or some macro or something into this particular resume, which made it malicious. Now, when something is added, like let's say when I add a suspicious command to that particular resume, or when I add some macros or anything related to that particular word format, definitely the hash gets changed, isn't it?
So what is macros? Sorry, I couldn't understand.
Okay, that is one of the Microsoft Word algorithm which will be able to call other functionalities like what do you call it? Let's say you want to call some other applications, add calculations. Macros is the one that works in the behind. It's a functionality, right? Okay. Now let's say Harika's resume that she has on her desktop is this, and somebody got her identity, I mean, got her resume somewhere in the internet, and they added some, let's say it is like something that is added. Now, this hash value will help you to identify the authenticity of the file. Now, the one which is there in her profile with this particular hash is something that is genuine or legit, right? The one which is modified will obviously get a new hash value. Guys, you're getting my point? Or I am like making you all confused? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you all on, I mean, are you all able to understand like what I'm explaining here?
Yes, sir. We
You're
are able
not
to
getting
understand.
confused.
Yes.
So I'll try to keep it simple. So hash is nothing but a unique string of a file which is generated based on the file contents. That is what we call it as a signature. Now, if somebody has injected a malware in this particular resume or the kind of script, now the hash value gets changed. Now, in these two hash values, which is malicious and which is non-malicious?
2024, it's a non-malicious, and 2025, it's malicious.
Of course. Now, this particular hash is the signature of the file. Like now, on what basis you're saying it is legit and it is malicious? Based on the file, right? Based on the file. Like the one which is resume 2024 is like not modified. It is genuine. And how systems identify that file? Using its hash.
Hash value.
By
Yes.
checking its hash value.
And exactly, because how would system know the Harika's regime 2024 is old and Harika's 2025 is like new, which is like malicious, based on the hash. Like that's old and that's new because there is a difference. Now, this signature will help antivirus to understand which file is legit and which file is malicious or suspicious or virus. You're getting my point? Let me give another simple example. Now let's take this particular file, which is here is a malware. Now it's a known malware. Let's consider this is a very known malware and you're using an endpoint. Let's say this is you, your computer, and this is your antivirus database. Like, let's take an example of a traditional antivirus, which is like in your organization, okay? And maybe if I can expand a little bit to accommodate this hash. Okay, so this particular database of AV will have n number of hashes. Like it's all the signatures, right? So it'll have n number of hash. So maybe let me edit this a little bit here. Okay, maybe I'll say this, this is that. Okay, let's say these are the hashes that we have in the antivirus database. Now your computer, okay, on your computer, you are trying to download a file. I mean, let's say you have the antivirus already installed on your computer, okay? And this antivirus is always speaking with, I mean, in connection with this particular database in two-way direction. Now, you are trying to install a file, let's say abc.exe, and which has the hash value of this particular thing, which is this particular hash value, okay? Now, when I install the file on here, And when I try to execute, what is the first thing? Will I be able to execute?
No.
Because why? Why I'll not be able to execute?
Antivirus will be blocked.
Yes.
Why antivirus will block?
With the signature of the virus matches with
Because
the
the
database.
signature,
It's the signature and it will
exactly.
detect.
This signature is actually, I mean, what happens is whenever you save a file to the disk, it will have a hash value generated. And once the hash value is generated, your antivirus will quickly scan that particular hash along with its signatures in the database. You're getting my point? In the antivirus database, it will have thousands or even the millions of hash values which are of known malware, which is, I mean, this particular file, it is the hash which is downloaded, and that particular hash has a match. It is a signature match. Now, will your antivirus will allow you to execute the file or open the file?
No.
As soon as it found the match, what will it do? It will
It will
quarantine the file,
quarantine.
or it will remove the file, right? It will not give you the access to open or to access the file. That's how antivirus works. Now let's say I'm smart. I mean, even all the attackers are like, okay, now this looks super cool, right? Like you have the hash values and it comes. Yeah, I mean, you are protected mostly. But what is the biggest challenge here?
If there any new software, there is no signatures.
Exactly. Now let's say attacker. I mean, the resume which we have, like malicious code, is like something I felt this is very known, and I'm not able to execute as an attacker because every antivirus is like blocking me. Now what I did, I will go ahead and change some script or some code or some contents of the file here. What happens when I change some contents of the file?
Hash value will be changed.
Hash value.
Hash value gets changed. Now let's say I'm downloading this particular file on my computer now. Okay. I'm downloading this particular file on this computer. Will I be able to execute? I mean, will the user will be able to execute this malware on the machine?
No. Yes, because no hash value is there.
Yes or no? Okay, let me put the
No.
question again. So now this is a malware file, which is like user went to this malicious site and tried to download it. I mean, he downloaded it on the particular machine. Now, will this particular malware will be executed on this machine or not? Are you all
No,
clear on my question?
No.
no, if we
No, no,
download
no.
it won't execute.
No, I'm saying after downloading, will it be able to run it? Now, once I
No, he
No,
download,
won't be
when I
able to
no,
click,
no,
run.
no, no.
No, no.
I'll not be able to execute it?
No, human
You
intervention
can
is
execute.
needed.
No, again, let me put my question simple. I have this particular file which is malicious, and I reach out to a malicious website and I downloaded it. Now, will my antivirus will allow me to run this file or not?
No,
No.
it won't allow.
This
It won't be
antivirus,
allowed.
no,
Don't be.
No,
again,
sir.
the antivirus which I have it here, understand? This antivirus, you see it here, and this is the database.
It
If
allows you
the
to execute, yes.
if the database has a signature, only then it will block.
No,
Otherwise,
you
if the
forget about ifs. Like this is the database that you have. This is the antivirus. Now you tell me,
It allows you to execute, yes.
Yeah, it will allow. The
100%.
signature is
It will
different.
allow because
There is
the
no
signature
signature, it will be allowed.
100%. Now you got the point. What is the major drawback of this antivirus? Traditional
Yes.
antivirus.
I think
Because
we can call it a
and
0-day attack.
no, 100%. That is what the 0-day is. You got it?
Yes, got it.
Yeah.
Now,
Every time the signature needs to be updated.
Exactly. And how, based on, I mean, signature upgradation again will take some time, because if it is on your, I mean, depends on whether it's on-prem, it's like, okay, that's a good point that you brought it up. Let's try to understand the major drawbacks of the antivirus. Like why the antivirus, or traditional antivirus to be specific, is like something that nobody is using right now, or like nobody even recommend using it right now. So the first thing is because it's only signature based. And how confident will you be 100%? What do you mean by signature based? It's only can. What do you mean by what do you mean by the signature based? Which means that it can only protect, or it can only give you the defense against the known malwares. What do you mean by known malwares? The malwares which are already, or the signatures which are updated in their database. Only for those it will be able to provide you the protection or the prevention. But what about the unknown malwares? If it is like unknown, what do you mean by unknown malwares? The signature which is not available in the database. For those, will your antivirus will help you to, I mean, does your antivirus will protect you?
No.
Of course not.
No.
So that is one of the major drawback, because unknown malwares will not be blocked or prevented by this particular traditional antivirus. And next one is database upgradation, database backup, or I would say the frequency of upgrading this particular database. Now, let's say when I say traditional antivirus, mostly these database are on-prem, like it will be in your organization, and it will usually it used to take around like minimum of 24 hours to update your, sorry, minimum of 24 hours to take the backup, I mean, to update the signatures with the internet, like with the new malwares. But do you see this particular time frame? 24 hours. Only you will be getting protected with the with unknown malware only after 24 hours. And that too, it should be something that in your organization somebody should go and update it. If somebody misses to update it, again it should be happening the next cycle, which is an again other 24 hours. So you are being without any protection for 24 hours. Isn't that scary?
Yes.
Isn't that scary?
Yes.
The next thing is like run and maintain. Running and maintaining the the antivirus which is on-prem, which is like the old antivirus, is like really, really difficult. Like you should have proper signature, you should have proper collaboration. It used to be like I mean, you even the employee, I mean, the analyst or the engineer who is maintaining this particular antivirus should be of like more skill, and it's like more of a what do you call this? Bits and pieces. That's how it used to be in the previous days. So that's one of the major drawback of using antivirus solutions, traditional antivirus. Now, what is the solution for it? Now they had to come up with some solution, right? And that's where they introduced something called as next gen antivirus. So anybody would like to give an explanation, like, I mean, would like to explain what is next gen antivirus?
I believe it will store signature as well as behavior of processes and other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like how system is behaving. If it is malicious, then it will immediately stop, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Next gen is an advanced antivirus. So for every second, it monitors the entire network or an device.
Mm-hmm.
To detect the ransom and malware attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will auto update the signatures.
Good. All right, let me help you with that. The next gen antivirus, obviously, it is an advanced version than what? Traditional antivirus. So traditional antivirus is the one which actually works with only based on the signatures, which is the major drawback. But whereas when it comes to the next gen antivirus, the known malwares is like already protected. The known malwares are already protected using antivirus. Now the main thing is how to protect or how to defend against unknown malware, like how we actually protect with the unknown malware. And that's where they got, maybe I can just copy paste this instead of typing. That's where they came up with this mechanism, which is AI, machine learning, behavioral analysis, along with exploit mitigation. So in addition with signature-based detection, they also included artificial intelligence, machine learning, behavior analysis, along with exploit mitigation. Like, what are actually these? Like, how it actually makes the difference? Let's try to understand here. So maybe to give this an example, I'll take behavior analysis. So now how Falcon does the, I mean, not Falcon, next gen antivirus does the behavior analysis, and how would it would protect you, how would it give you the protection? Let's try to understand this. Now here, let's take the same example, which is the resume, where the malware is updated, right? So here they made some changes to this particular piece of malware, and because of that, the hash value got changed. Now the hash value got changed, but still the behavior of the malware will be changed. Will it be changed?
No, sir. No,
Let's say
it
example,
will
they
not.
have, yeah, let's say it has like Trojan. Okay, it has a Trojan. So they changed little bit of the code and they modified it. But will they change this particular, or maybe instead of Trojan, maybe I can say ransom. Okay, it is a ransomware file. Maybe they change the hash value, but the actual core behavior of the ransomware malware, will it be changed?
No.
No,
No.
sir.
Maybe you can come up with multiple versions of ransomware. Loki, Akira, it has like WannaCry, Petya, it has like Ryuk, it has n number of ransomwares, right? They may come up with n number of variations based on the added flavors to it. But still, what is the core? What is the actual malware in it? Ransomware. And what its behavior? Encrypt the files and request for ransom. And based on how you encrypt the files, based on what level of access you have to encrypt the files, that differentiates the different variants of ransomware. But what is the actual behavior? Encrypt and then request for ransom. And that is what the ransomware is. If you take Loki, if you take Akira, if you take Ryuk, if you take Petya, if you take WannaCry, if you take any other ransomware that I say, the major thing that happens is it will encrypt the system or it will encrypt the file and then request for ransom. That is what we have seen in the ransomware, right?
Sir, even in the ransomware, it will prevent for the malicious malware attacks, right? In the ransomware.
Could you please repeat that? I didn't get your point.
So my question is like in the ransomware, so it will be prevent and detect the malicious malware attack also while we are using the ransom. So while we
No, let's not get into that point. I mean, now we are talking about how that will be protected and how that protection is given. other than a basically the signature based. Like, let's say this is a ransomware file and your signature got updated because of some modification that you made, and now the hash value got changed, but still it's a ransomware undernet. Okay, so now will your traditional antivirus will detect it?
No.
Will not, because it is signature based, and that's why we are looking for the latest or a advanced version of detection, which is behavioral analysis or machine learning or based on artificial intelligence, and also based on the exploit mitigation to detect. Now, let's take the same example. Here it is, the ransomware file. Now, take the next example in this situation that the host has the next gen antivirus on it. It's not a traditional antivirus, next gen antivirus over here. Now, um, user again, user again downloaded a file from the malicious site. This is a ransomware file. Now, though you have the next gen antivirus, will you be able to execute the file on the machine? Will you be able to run it?
No.
No.
Why not?
Because new generation.
It will be able to run because to understand the behaviors, it has to first run, right? You're getting my point? Okay, I'll tell you the situation how it happens. In the next gen antivirus, what it happens is in the previous generation, when you were going to the file and when you download it, only after the download you are getting the hash value checked, or where that is where you are getting the protection, or where that's where you are actually doing the security check, whether the file is legit or genuine or it's a malware, right? Now, when you have the next gen antivirus, what it does is whenever you are reaching out to any of the URL, like I said in the previous example, this particular file is downloaded from a malicious site. Now, what happens is this particular antivirus will be able to, next gen antivirus will be able to look into the URL that you are actually going to. What kind of URL it is. If it is reputed as malicious, of course, it will not let you download those files, or it will not let you actually reach to that particular domain. If it is not clear, it will at least give you the pop-up, this file is downloaded from an unknown site. Have you guys seen that alert kind of notification, like especially on a browser based protections in Chrome or in the Edge, like this file is downloaded from a unknown site? Make sure you still want to run it, or you still want to download it, or you still want to execute it.
Yes, sir.
Whenever
You have
we
seen
see
those
a
situations,
file
right?
on the drive.
Right. You have seen those activities. Now let's say this ransomware is hosted on a very clean or zero what is a new domain which is not even categorized malicious. Now in that case, that will bypass everything and you will still be able to download the file. Once you download the file, again, first it will look for the signature based. Of course, that is the first check. It will see there is no signature for it. And what happens when there is no signature? It will allow you to execute. But again, the next important thing is, if next-gen antivirus will only tell you whether it should allow and block, and it will be silent. But when it comes to the next-gen antivirus, it will keep a track of this particular application, what you are actually running. It will see what you actually doing. Now, let's say you downloaded a file called Word resume.pdf. Okay, when you download resume.pdf, what system expected to run? Maybe it opens the Adobe PDF or any PDF reader, and then it will display that PDF file, and then done. That's what we usually see, right? In a system. When you open a PDF. Everybody, are you able to follow with me?
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
When you download a PDF from the internet, and what happens on your machine, or what is expected, you will download it, and when you open it, you will go with any of the PDF readers like Adobe or whatever the thing that you have, or a PDF reader. And once it is loaded, your PDF will be displayed. And that is what usual behavior of a PDF. Now let's say this is named as PDF, and when you open this particular PDF, there is another shell that is open. When we say shell, let's say command prompt, cmd.exe is open, and cmd.exe is trying to download some other files on the system. Okay, let me explain the scenario. You downloaded something called as Harika's resume, okay, .pdf, and after you downloading it, your system opened the PDF, and then along with that, it also opened command prompt, and it is trying to reach out to some other sites and downloading the file using PowerShell or using command prompt. Is it legit? Is it expected behavior?
No.
No.
Is it expected behavior of a PDF file?
No, sir.
That's what it is called as behavioral analysis. And when this thing is happening, antivirus will pitch in and say, hey, boss, this is not something you are supposed to do. I'm going to block you. And it will block, it will stop the process running, and it will generate an alert in the backend saying suspicious behavior observed. You got the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you're getting how the how the behavior based analysis will be executed. I just took it as an example, but there will be like hundreds and n number of scenarios that system will identify it as behavior based. Let me tell you one more example. I'll give you one more example and see if you will be able to identify it, which is normal or abnormal. So maybe for that, I will take this. So let's say on your mission, okay, you are on the Outlook. Okay, you all know what Outlook is, right?
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
On the Outlook, you opened, there is an unknown email that you received. Okay. Unknown or known, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's an unknown phishing email that you received, and you opened the file, and the file has I would say word.exe, WinWord. It has a word file. Like, let's say that's maybe what should I name it? Let's say, okay, there is a document called harika.resume, okay, related to that. And now, after this file is executed, to load this particular file, and when you open this particular file, what is the application that opens? Word.exe, right? That will be the one which will open and then make you to display this particular word. Now, once you clicked on this particular Harika docs and the word file is opened, now is it legit? Is it normal or abnormal?
Abnormal.
Normal. It is normal.
It's
Normal.
actual file, it's a document, but word.exe, it's an executable file.
Mm-hmm.
It is opening the Word file means it is normal, right?
You tell me.
Yes, it is normal.
How many say it's normal and how many say abnormal? Okay, at least how many of you say it's abnormal?
It's not normal.
It's not normal. Okay, why?
.exe.
Okay. Okay, you all open up your Chrome or whatever the browser that you like. You all did?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just search this. What is word.exe?
It's an executable.
We know that. Like, what exactly it is used for?
The process.
Mm-hmm.
This launches Word program when you open it.
What do you mean by word program?
It's a software that has been,
Windows
That
Word.
means the application is running.
yeah.
Right. And now, this application Word.exe or WinWord.exe is responsible for opening the documents on your computer.
Correct.
You're getting my point? Especially the Word format. Like that's why you see this extension. I said it .docs. Maybe do one thing. Do one thing. Mm, let me see if I can pull up my VMware and then show you. Just give me a second. Maybe it will take some time. Yeah, just give me a second. Let me see if I can pull up my VMware real quick. Windows machine. Bear with me. I'm just trying to show you exactly what it is. Till now, are you all able to understand like what actually I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you able to follow with me, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Let me
sir.
switch the
Clear.
profile. Just bear with me for a minute till it boots up. Okay. You all see the Windows machine?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Now
we
let's
can.
say, okay, relax. Okay, now let's, come on. Okay, let me rename it. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to bring up Task Manager just to show you the process that is running. Okay. Now you see all the background applications, right? All the background process. Uh, maybe. Maybe if I can just take services. History. Or maybe you can see the apps right here, right? So I mean, forget about the background process here, ignore them. You see this apps right here till this section, focus on here. So now let's say this is the Word file. The one we see here, hello there, is the Word file that I received through the email. Now, and I'm opening this, okay? I'm opening this Word file. Okay. Now you focus on the apps right here. Okay. Let me show you the task manager. You see which app is running actually?
Word.
Microsoft Word.
And Microsoft Word is what is the process name for Microsoft Word?
WinWord.exe.
You got the point? Now, I just opened this Word, right? And you know that pulled up winword.exe. Is it malicious? Is it unexpected behavior?
No, it's
Not
expected.
No.
Because whenever you want to open a file, a Word file, what is the background process that need to run? winword.exe. Now, let me minimize this. Let me pull up the notes. Okay, now this behavior, a user received an email from unknown sender and that has the file name with the docs. And when you open the file and that opened winword.exe, maybe let me write it as winword.exe on your machine. Is it normal behavior or abnormal behavior?
normal.
It's a
Normal.
normal behavior. You all got the
Normal.
point? You all got the point? I mean, the people who said it's abnormal behavior, you got the point?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's say after opening this winword.exe, it opened PowerShell. Okay, PowerShell.exe. I mean, it spawned PowerShell.exe, and then PowerShell downloaded a file abc.exe. I mean, after connecting to a internet, downloaded abc.exe from the internet. Now, is it expected behavior or normal behavior or abnormal behavior?
It's abnormal.
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 100%. You all got the point why, right? Like why would a Word file will reach out to will spawn a PowerShell? Because usually no user will be running PowerShell on the machines, right? Unless until you are an admin or you are the one who actually works it. But let's say WinWord opening PowerShell, is it malicious or suspicious indicator? Only focus till here. Only focus up to here. WinWord, you got an email and it has a Word file and you opened it, and that Word file opening after you opening it, it opened PowerShell.exe or it spawned PowerShell.exe. Is it a malicious in behavior or a suspicious behavior? Like 100% confident that no WinWord should open PowerShell?
No, it's normal behavior.
It's okay. I would say it's not normal, it's abnormal, but it is suspicious, not 100% malicious. I can't clearly say WinWord opening PowerShell is like malware, it's malicious thing. I can't confidently say, but there is something that somebody has to look into it and then confirm that is legit or illegit. You're getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Everybody. Now, PowerShell reaching out to the internet and then downloading a file abc.exe, which is found to be a malware. Let's say this is an abc.exe is an unknown file. And now PowerShell downloading ABC. Is it a suspicious indicator or a malicious indicator?
Malicious.
It's malicious.
100%. Like because we don't usually use PowerShell to download files from the external sites. You got the point which I'm actually trying to make here. This is what it is called as behavior basic analysis. Now, which will tell you like, now we know, like we understood, like this is what the behavior is like. But in an organization or in a workstation, there will be millions of process like this. And which will tell the system which is normal and abnormal, which is suspicious, which is malicious? Which will tell it?
EDR.
No,
Oh,
we are
machine
not.
learning.
See, again, we are still not at the EDR. We haven't even came to the EDR yet. We are still in the next gen antivirus. So the machine learning with the AI, with the artificial intelligence, it will tell you which is normal and which is abnormal. And that is what we call it as behavior analysis. And again, exploit mitigation. So if there is any vulnerability that is being exploited, your antivirus will be able to understand those behaviors and it will try to provide you that protection. That is what we call it as next-gen antivirus.
So where we use PowerShell normally when we use PowerShell?
PowerShell will be usually used for the, in the admin activities.
So
As
for
an
example,
administrator, you will be using the PowerShell for a lot of situations like running the scripts, uh, for
So
scheduling
it's
some
a
of the
command prompt.
command prompt is cmd.exe, which we all use, like which we all have access to. But PowerShell in an organization will require an admin access. PowerShell is more powerful tool. Maybe PowerShell is the most important thing right now. So maybe as a I would say like self-learning session, I would tell you go and understand the PowerShell and then try to understand how attackers are leveraging PowerShell in the recent attacks. Okay, so that is something for you to cover. And if not, I'll explain you that tomorrow if you have any questions on that. All right. I mean, when I say tomorrow, in the next session, that's on next Saturday.
all right, so thanks.
So do we have to learn PowerShell also?
Do you have to what?
Do we have to
No.
learn PowerShell how to use it?
Uh,
Because I
I
don't
would
know.
say not at admin level, but being a SOC analyst or to be a good SOC analyst, it's always good to understand how PowerShell executes, what those commands are, what those commands meant. Whether by
Okay.
reading the commands, you will be able to understand whether it's a malicious activity or a normal activity. It'll be
Also
able
for
to,
Python.
you'll be able to determine it.
Same for the Python because I have seen some of the JDs. They mention
Oh,
PowerShell and
Python.
Python also.
Right.
Yes.
Python and PowerShell, or I would say they are like, again, PowerShell is for a different thing and Python is used for a different thing. So Python is usually help you to write your detection scripts. It'll help you to, code and get more of a detection related. So, but when it comes to the PowerShell, it'll help you to understand what attacker is actually trying to do. So these are one of the key, or I would say important tools and languages which Windows related. It's always good to be having a very good understanding how to use them. So yeah, of course, they're required, in short, or simply
Okay,
put.
thank
All right, that is okay. Now, if you see the drawbacks, now again, if you see the next traditional antivirus drawback, one of the drawback was signature based, which is the reason like it's not able to detect unknown malwares. Now, is that removed? I mean, is that sorted? Is this addressed in the next gen antivirus? The one of the drawback of the traditional antivirus, is it addressed in the next gen antivirus?
Yes.
Of
Kind
course, now
of.
because your next gen antivirus now till some extent it is able to help you with detecting unknown malwares, right? Clear?
Yes.
Now,
Yes,
next
sir.
one is database backup and then running and maintaining of it. Now, the antivirus, traditional antivirus is like on-prem and you have to maintain it and you have to take the backup of the signatures on a scheduled basis, right? But most of the next-gen antivirus comes with cloud infrastructure. So, which means that it is on the cloud. And when it is on the cloud, mostly your data will be updated in real time. When we say your data, like the signature data. So as soon as someone identified it as a malware, that signature will be updated in all the next-gen antivirus solutions, like based on the collaboration that they have. That particular malware, that particular signature will be updated immediately on all the things. And that is what it help you to detect the viruses very, very, very quickly. And running and maintaining, it's on the cloud. Do you need to really worry about running and maintaining it?
No.
No.
Not now. Is it everything is sorted out?
Yes.
Sir.
Is all your issues were sorted, right? From the next gen antivirus.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, if the next gen antivirus is like very much clear, like we all know what it is and what it is capable of, then why still people are running behind the next generation tools, next generation of endpoint security tools like EDR and EPP? Like why they had to come in the real time? Okay, what actually lagging here in next gen antivirus, that we got that the world got a requirement to invent a new technology which is EPP and an EDR, right? So before I go further into that EPP and EDR, I would like to take a quick pause here and see if anybody has any questions on the traditional AV and the next gen AV, because this is one of the key interview question if you are going as a fresher. Mostly the people, even if you're going for an advanced L1 or LT investigate interviews, the people might ask like, if you already have an antivirus, what is an antivirus? What is your understanding on the antivirus? Like, what is the next gen antivirus? So I would like to quickly take a pause and then see if anybody has any questions. And before that, I'm going to go through the chat and see if anybody has listed any questions there. No questions I see in the chat, so I'm open for the group here.
Give me the examples of traditional and next gen antivirus, sir.
Okay, traditional, you all know they're like pretty. No, all the traditionals have moved to next gen, like Kaspersky, Avast.
Okay.
Even Avast is now recently the next gen antivirus. There's no traditional antivirus, I would say. Let me put this way. Now, next gen, and they all upgraded now. The current thing is the next gen antivirus. Next gen antivirus we have is like you have Symantec, you have Avast, you have McAfee, you have Kaspersky, you have what do you call it? Next gen antivirus. Sophos, even I think Sophos is now into the EPP. It's not next gen antivirus. They're using EPP.
Okay.
What do you call this? Cybersecurity, there is something called as script. I don't know. Whatever you see in the market with the license keys, right? That you will be. They are the next gen antivirus. But again, all the next gen antivirus are again evolving into EPPs and EDRs. I see your question, Kar. What is the difference between machine learning and behavior analysis? Behavioral analysis is the kind of analysis like we just discussed, right? And machine learning and AI is the back end of it, which supports to define which is normal and which is abnormal. You got the point?
Which is not normal, like kind of example.
We just spoke here, right? This particular thing. Now, WinWord open, word file opening winword.exe is normal. And who gonna say that? Machine learning is nothing but the understanding that it got from the machine. So based on the machine learning, based on the computer, I would say based on the Windows at least, the word file opening Windows winword.exe is something legit, right? Your machine learning will tell you that. Now, WinWord opening PowerShell is something that it is not something that's seen frequently, right? We don't usually or frequently see this happening in a machine, in a computer, and that based on that behavior, it says it is suspicious. And who says, I mean, this behavior to identify it, whether it is like frequently happening or not frequently happening, which says that the machine learning in the antivirus solution, which understands the entire operation of a machine, will tell you that. You get it?
So then we don't need to learn about, like, do we need to know about
Mhm.
which is normal and abnormal, or it is
Of
only
course,
based on
again, see,
applying?
again,
Okay.
see, whatever system is clear, it is normal and abnormal, it will be able to take the decision, right? When it is not clear, what it is going to do, it's going to give you an alert. Hey, I saw this, which I feel it is suspicious. You want to take a look. That is why we are here as a SOC analyst, to do and add a human intelligence to it and then identify whether it is normal or abnormal. If it is clear that it is normal, of course your antivirus will not take any action. If it is clear that it is abnormal, of course it will take some action. It will quarantine the file, stop the process, it will alert you, like it will do all those things. You got the point?
Yes, sir.
Ashwin, I see your question. You told us in an example that Windward may open PowerShell, and you said that the connection might be suspicious. So in real, which instance that Windward will open PowerShell? Um, to be honest, Windward opening PowerShell, in the real situations, I would say maybe let's say you are running some sort of automation. Okay. I'm unable to recall the exact process, or where you have a macro. Let's say you have to execute some commands in the PowerShell. Let's say you have a Word file where you need to get the some of the system properties to it. Okay, you had to pull some of the system properties from the Word file because of using those scripts and all. Then you need the PowerShell to execute and run some commands to it. Let's say example. Okay, I can give you this clear example. Okay, I think I came across this. Now let's say you have or I have a Word file. Sorry, I have a Word file which I want to list all the hash values. List all the hash values. I mean, I have a Word which have to list all the hash values in the D drive. Okay, in the D drive for every 24 hours. Okay, now this is kind of a file that you executed. I mean, you have it on the system to run and get the list of all the hash values from the D drive for every 24 hours. So is this something that you can manually run and update the hash values for every 24 hours? Can you go to all D drive and then update all the hash values manually in the Word file?
No.
No.
Will it be possible? I mean, it will be, but it'll be like unnecessary resources being misused, or it'll be like time taking. Now, in that situations, what I can do is I can integrate Word with PowerShell and then give the command to run. I mean, there is a command in PowerShell like get hash file hash, and if I run the command and give it a step, automatically the Word file will, I mean, the script will run for every 24 hours, and then we'll get the hash values added to the list. Clear, Ashwin? That's one of the example that just thought in my, I mean, strike in my mind. Maybe you can look up in the internet for more details about it. Um, is there any video? What does it mean? Uh, Video for PowerShell. There are n number of, but if you want me to share some references, I'll share. Yeah, I'll take a look and then share, but I don't have them handy. I'll definitely share with you. Any other question? Yeah, go on,
Sir,
go on.
Yeah, I have one question.
Go
So
on.
you said like that next generation antivirus is the advanced and traditional is not the like we are not the advanced. So mostly question is mostly what we'll use while we are using the project or in as of in the market, what they will use. It will be the next generation antivirus because it will be the AI. Well, they'll be used in advance. It will maybe they'll use in AI like artificial intelligence. So what about the traditional for the antivirus? They'll be used
Let's
or not or
Very good question. Very good question. So let me give you a scenario. So now let's say you have, we have Harika and you have Ashwin. Let's take you both as an example, okay? Maybe Ashwin, how did I spelled it correct? Okay, there you go. So now I think I want you, Ashwin and Harika, to unmute yourself and then give us scenarios. Tell your opinions here. So Harika, you have your computer.
yes.
And you would like to get it protected. You want to secure it.
Yeah.
And the kind of machine you have is the thing that you use for normal browsing, watching movies, and you use it for, gaming. You use it for some of your projects. Okay? Your projects, your college projects. Let's say you are a normal, typical user and you use it. And when it comes to the Ashwin, let's say Ashwin is a professional. He has he is using a computer bit more than what we actually do, like a developer. He's like always doing the research, malware investigation, like two different people here, right? One is like normal user, another one is who uses the computer to some other different. We have two different persons using the computer with two different purposes. Now let's say traditional antivirus, which is just the open source antivirus that you get for free, right? Which you get it for free. Okay. And you have another antivirus which is going to take you like $100 per month. Okay. Which is one AV, which is traditional, is free. And another AV, maybe you can consider as next gen antivirus license, which comes with a subscription of $100 per month. Okay. Or maybe $400 per month because 100 is like low. So I would say like $400 per month. Now, Harika, you tell me for your usage based on your requirement, would you be going for the opting a traditional free antivirus or you would be willing to pay $400 per month? Again, only purely think about the system perspective and return on investment. Think about that, like whether you're using it. It just don't say like I have money, I'll just go for it. Think like which will be the wise option for you to choose.
It will be free.
Okay. Now, Ashwin, what will you be choosing here? Sorry? Okay, I think there is some audio issues on your side, Ashwin. Yeah, you can use the chat. So, of course, based on the requirement, the kind of operations that you do, based on the level of extension that you use, definitely the person who is using the system beyond, they'll go for the paid version of it. Or maybe simply put, if let's take this Spotify as an example. If you're a pure music lover and you don't want to be interrupted with the ads and all the things, obviously we'll go with paid
Free.
version. If not, I'm like fine. I ad is like only 10 seconds. Will you be bothering about upgrading to the paid version? Mostly not,
No.
right? That is where the people take the call, which should they actually go for, whether they should go for a free version or a paid version, whether they should go for a traditional antivirus or a next gen antivirus.
One question, other thing. So
Mhm.
you said like example, the free version and whatever they having the and it is the paid version. So what is the difference? It will be the both, right? They'll be change any virus or any update on while they
Yeah,
are
that's what I'm saying.
having.
That's what I'm saying. It's a free. Free is like always the traditional, and paid version is the next gen.
Okay.
You got the point? See, what
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to make the point here is whether to choose paid version or a free version or a traditional antivirus or EDR or EPPT organization. It's a purely decision taken by your leadership based on your financials, based on your requirement, based on your size of business, based on no. Excuse me. So there will be always something called as return on investment,
Okay.
and the kind of importance that they give for securing the environment. Based on that, they'll take the call whether do I need to go with EDR, do I need to go with next gen antivirus, do I need to go with EPP, or should I just go with a traditional antivirus? You got the
Okay.
point?
Yeah. So like you're saying that whatever the upgrade version we are getting in the any tool or anything, so it will be get some paid version and free version, right? You're saying.
No, I'm just giving it as an example.
No. Just I'm asking when we are getting some
Uh,
upgrade version. So
no, if you take Falcon as an example, there is no free version.
okay.
I mean, you will get the free version, but only for like 15 days or something.
Okay.
Even I think now it is remote. We don't have that.
Okay.
If you
So
take
under
Splunk,
okay.
as an example, you get a free period, like 15 days. You can integrate your own machine, or you can pull some logs into it, and you can play around. But after 15 days, you must have to get a licensed version of it, right?
Okay.
The same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, and the question is there. So you said that we window.exe and PowerShell we can use by using the command prompt, and we can use by in admin we can use only the PowerShell. Why can't we like the Wireshark? It is also like some command prompt for
You said
that.
Wireshark
Yeah, Wireshark is also
again.
command. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Tell me, who is the owner of PowerShell?
Actually, I don't
No,
know.
check it.
Microsoft.
Internet. Use internet.
Microsoft.
Okay, who is the owner of Wireshark?
Okay.
Like, who actually owns Wireshark?
And Wireshark is not an
No, I'll
Yes.
come to that. I'll come to that. I get the point.
yeah, it's a tool to check something.
Of course, I'll get that point.
Wireshark
Wireshark
is
is
open source.
open source. You're getting my point?
Yeah.
It's like my PowerShell. It's like and again, you're comparing two different things. Wireshark is for different purpose, and PowerShell is different purpose. Wireshark is only to monitor the activities, like the network, what actually happening. I mean, it's like it'll be like spy. It'll just monitor your network activities and what actually happening and what kind of packet level of inspection that is happening. But PowerShell is like a different utility from the Windows which will execute on your machine. But Wireshark, it will just observe the traffic and will give you what it actually happening.
Yes,
They are two
got
different things. But again, if you are in this case, you should have compared like PowerShell and then command prompt, cmd.exe.
it.
They both are like Windows utility. And which is more powerful? PowerShell. I mean, powerful because it has like lot more automation, it has a lot more integration, it has more command free. I mean, it is like more user free. It has like a lot of commands to execute. Those things.
Arvind, what is the difference between normal command prompt and PowerShell? Both are looking like same only. Commands are a little bit same.
Um, good question. Even I don't have answer for that, but how do you say? Um, difference between command prompt and PowerShell.
Just
I
both are
never
The
looking
actually
syntax
like
thought.
difference.
I
And
never actually thought
Vehicle.
of it. I would say like user. I mean, based on the convenience of usage. Okay, cmd.exe is like CMD is like most user friendly.
yes.
Like the smaller commands, it's like only like read and view and little modifications you'll be able to do it. For any of the complex modifications or code executions, those things like for automation, backup related, those you'll be using PowerShell.
Yeah, got it.
You got the point? Like more of like,
Yeah.
I mean, Even I never got that question, so sorry, I was not able to address it properly.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. But you got the context, right? What I'm
Yes,
actually
yes.
trying to say. Mhm. All right, it's 10:24. Shall we consider taking a break for 10 minutes before we go ahead with? Okay, now you guys tell me. We understood about antivirus and next gen antivirus, and the next topic that we have is EPP and EDR, which is like again theory. Should you willing to continue with the theory, or you want me to use the next 1 hour for giving a demo of the Falcon console? Which one do you like? I mean, like, are you okay to continue with the theory, or it's like, okay, continue the theory in the next part and we take some quick tour of a console or something?
Sir,
So you
for
can give
the
more
console.
Console.
examples of the part of that because we need to get understand the concept.
Practical.
Mhm. Okay, all right. What I'll do is I'll give you a quick tour of the console, but again, just a quick tour, like how the CrowdStrike console looks like, where you look at all the details. I'll just give you a tour of it. Again, I'll not go in depth. I'll not cover too much information. I'll not speak about detections. I'll not speak about much details. I'll just speak about um,
Dash.
little things, like a quick tour. Like I'll tell you like where and what it is. Hope so that you don't get just bored hearing to my voice and then looking at this particular screen. Okay,
Yeah. Okay, sir.
sounds like a plan.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
All right, it's 10:25, and I see you all at 10:35 or at 10:40. Yeah, see you all
10:40.
at
10:40.
10:40.
1040, yes.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. All right, I'll be away from my desk. I'll quickly get my coffee.
Oh.
See you all at 10:40. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I will just read it once I'm back. All right, everybody. Hope you all are back. Just wanted to confirm, do you all hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So for the rest half, we'll just deal with, the CrowdStrike. So again, there is one topic left, which is EPP and the EDR, and then I'll try to cover that on that theory session on next month, Saturday. So now we'll take a look into the CrowdStrike Falcon. So CrowdStrike Falcon is very simple. I mean, okay, maybe I'll just try directly get you the access to the console, and then we'll speak. And coming to the um, details of architecture of Falcon and how it is actually that we'll speak, as we keep going in depth of this particular session. So let me get a new tab, where I can access Falcon. So, all right. So let me try to access Falcon. So, have you all got your accounts created? Is there any communication that made?
No. We have not created any account or nothing.
Okay, I think you will be getting an email with all the username, login, email ID, password, and everything. Even along with that particular link, you will have the entire details on how to set up MFA, how to access your account. They'll share a Word file with all the details in it. So you will be able to set up your account successfully. If not, I'll try to demonstrate it once you all get the access for it. So need not to worry much on it. So along with that email, you will get this particular link where you can actually access the Falcon. As you see here, we are on Falcon US to CrowdStrike. That is where our cloud instance is hosted. And now we'll be using our credentials like your email ID and then password, and then you will be using it for login. So as you see, once you provide your username and password, it is asking you for authentication. So how to set up MFA, everything will be there in that particular file that our team will be sharing with you. So once you set up, you will be able to get the MFA and you will be able to log in. So once you log in, this is, let it load. So this is how, Falcon welcomes you with a dashboard, which is called activity dashboard. So this is the home page, or I would say once you log in, this is what you are supposed to see on your screen. Now we'll just come from left and we'll go all the way towards the right to see what all actually we have in this particular Falcon and how we need to access each and every resources. All right. So firstly, you see this burger icon or a sandwich icon right here, which is like 3. Just click on it. So once you click on it, so this is the main option where you will get to see, or which will help you to navigate within the different modules and different resources within the Falcon EDR. So here in this particular thing, you will see bookmarks, recently visited, and you have next-gen SIEM, endpoint security, counter adversary operations. So these are the different services that we have got from the Falcon. Okay, when I say services, these are like what are the features that we have, which is next-gen SIEM, endpoint security, and counter adversary operation. Like what these are, what actually be inside that we will be covering as we keep going. Don't worry about don't worry about it much. So once you click on it, you will get to see these different options. So if you want to go to the next-gen SIEM, click on it. If you want to go to the endpoint security, you will be clicking on it. And right now you can see under endpoint security, there are different modules right here. Monitor, you can call them as resources as well. Like you have monitor, firewall, device control, and then configure. So under endpoint security, under monitor, you have multiple options or resources. One is activity dashboard, which we are currently seeing right here. And next one is CrowdScore incident. So every alert or detection will be converted to, not every, like whatever it is actually matching the criteria for the incident, they will be converted into incident, and those incidents can be seen here. So which will be dealing with the incidents as we keep going further. And this is the place where you can actually see all the detections, endpoint detection, and you can see all the quarantine files, on-demand scans, and remediations. Like again, it is just, I'm just showing you where to access. What is it? In what situations you use? How to use? Everything will be covered in detail as we keep going further. Don't worry or don't think about it. So now, let's say I'm going to endpoint detections. Let's say I'm in endpoint security. I'm clicking on endpoint detections. Now you see here, this particular thing right here, will tell you which module that you are accessing, like what kind of feature that you are accessing, and then what is the resource that you are actually viewing. You're getting my point? So if you see this, maybe if I can zoom in, you are under endpoint security and you are looking at endpoint detections. Now let's say from there, if I go to CrowdScore incidents, from detections, if I go to CrowdScore incidents, then this should be. Now what do you see here? CrowdScore incidents. What does it mean? Now you are currently accessing CrowdScore incidents. Now let's say I want to bookmark this. Now let's say you regularly use activity dashboard, or you regularly use detections, or you regularly use quarantine files, and you don't want to do all these things like click on it, come to endpoint security, and then look where this particular resource is. So now you can actually bookmark how you actually do it. And that is where you see this little icon over here. So once you have this particular module open, like let's say this is the CrowdScore incidents, you can click on it, which means that now you see edit a bookmark. You can just give the name whatever you want, and then you save it. Once you save it, you know, you will be able to find all of them in the bookmarks. Now you see you have the bookmark. Okay, maybe if I zoom out a little bit, and you can see all those bookmarks saved here. Like if you want to go to any of the bookmark, you can directly click on it. It will take you to that particular module directly. Like example, I mean, again, detections and CrowdScore incidents are like very easy to access, so you don't worry about much. But there'll be something called as IOC management, adversaries, malwares. So those are typically like you had to find where they actually are. In that situation, you can actually understand, I mean, use these particular bookmarks. So let me show you again how to access bookmark. So now let's say I have counter adversary operation, and let's say I want to look at the intelligence reports all the time. Now, if you can click on this reports, you will be in that particular resource, or you will be in that particular page. Once you are on it, you will get this little icon which is like bookmark page. Click on it. Now you see you can save the bookmark. You can just go with the default name, like whatever you see here, that will be the default name that you will be seeing here. If not, you can just modify it based on your requirement. You're getting my point? You can just modify it as per your need, and then you click on save. Once you save it, I mean, once you give the name, you will be able to save it. Once you save it, your bookmark will be saved with the same name. Like example, I would say, um, let me do this way. It says reports, right? I would say instead of all these reports, I'll say Intel reports. I'll just say Intel reports, okay? And then I'm going to save on it. Now you see, you got a page saying, I mean, you got a notification saying bookmark added. Now, if you go to bookmarks right here, you can see a page, a bookmark created with your whatever the requirement is. Now, if you click on it, you will directly go to that particular reports, no matter where you are. Now, like this example, I'm on the activity dashboard. Okay. Now I want to quickly access the reports, Intel reports. Now I don't want to look where the Intel reports are, because again, if you see, it is under this, and then if it is under finished in intelligence, and here you see those reports, right? So instead, I can just go to bookmarks, and then I can just click on the Intel reports. That will take you to the resource right there. Again, I know it feels simple because we are currently creating the bookmarks for what we see here, but there are some resources which you will be like, frequently you will not be using it. So in that situations, bookmarks will help you to navigate to those resources very easily and quickly. Okay, so that's about the bookmarks. And next thing that we have is recently visited. Like whatever the resource that you recently visit, all those resources will be listed here. Like example, we looked into the reports, we looked into the device, we looked into the endpoint detection. So whatever you recently use, all those resources will be right here. If you want to go to them, you can just click on it, like process, sandboxing, host management, bulk domains, like whatever the resource it is, you can just click on it, and then you can go with it. So that is what this bookmarks and recently visited. Like why I'm stressing is this is like mostly you will be using these two like very frequently on your day-to-day usage. All right. Now once you click on it, you have multiple resources: next-gen SIEM, endpoint security, and then endpoint security operations, counter adversary operation, which is nothing but intelligence. Okay, you have this three. And next you have is under this, you do have something called as investigate. These are like investigation related to all the modules right here. It can be endpoint security, it could be next-gen antivirus, or it could be intelligence. Like if you want to investigate, these are the different resources that you use. Investigate, Fusion SOAR, and you have Foundry. I mean, you have asset inventory, you have dashboards, you have host management, you have CrowdStrike Store, you have audit logs, you have support and resource, you have data connects. Like you have a number of things right here which you will be using each and every feature of it based on the requirement that you have. I mean, we will try to cover most of them as we keep going. Okay, as per the requirement, we'll just use all of these resources one by one. So before I go further, I would like to take you or introduce you all to something that is called as support and resources, because this is something that we don't usually use, but as a beginner, this is something that we should all have, have a good understanding of. So support and resources, like what is this support and resources? As the name says, support. There will be a situation where you feel like I need a support from the Falcon, from the Falcon team, or from the CrowdStrike team, that um, I need some information about it, right? So you'll be creating a support case to understand like what this actually is, how to get some assistance on some sort of integration, some sort of configuration, right? So this is where you use most of this support and resource case. Like once you are into the actual organization, you will get to see or use most of this a lot. Now, I see a question in the chat, Kar. Uh, thanks, Arvind, for helping us with this. Kar, I see your question. Falcon and CrowdStrike is both same. It's same. I mean, Falcon, like Arvind said, CrowdStrike is the brand and Falcon is one of their products. Like example, Apple is the brand, right? And MacBook is one of their products. iPhone is one of their product. iPad is one of their product. Like the same way, CrowdStrike is the major brand and Falcon is one of their product. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Now, let's go to this support and resources and see how you want to create a support case. Let's say you want to create a support case, or before that, let's say you want to access some of the resources like documentation. Let's say you are completely new to this particular entire Falcon, you want to look at some of the documentation. One more thing that I want to understand is here, whenever you go to this particular resource, you will be seeing different icons right here. Like you see, one is with amber, with yellow, and if you see with the with blue, what does it actually mean? If you see anything with yellow, which means that there is some updates to it. Like you see, here it says cases, there is some new option here. Automated leads, there is some new option here. Data setting, which is new, which means that there's something new that got introduced. So in Falcon, you will see the new features and new resources coming every day. When I say every day, every now and then, there will be no. You will get to see everything. Either at least one resource, you will see something new as you keep monitoring this particular pages. So this particular dots will indicate showing you that there is something new that you need to explore or something that Falcon has introduced. And if you see this blue, let me tell you what this is. So let's try to identify where this particular blue one is. You see what blue is saying?
Updated.
Updated. So now you got the difference. Whenever you see this one with the yellow dot, which means that there is a new feature that is available. Like you see here, sorry, like if you see for counter malware intelligence, like if you keep going down, okay, even this is like amber, maybe something new and updated. That's interesting. Usually they use the blue for updated and this for the new options. You see it here? This is how they use it. But I don't know why it is like this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it could be a glitch or something. But yeah, that is, basically what does it, and what this colored dot on this particular thing says is there is something that is updated to the resources. Like it's like the features that are updated. It's not like new alert, there is a new detection. It's not like that. It is that there is some resource that got updated or something new, which you may have to take a tour or you have to be like cautious about. That's it. This is not, this nothing has to do with the detection. Like it doesn't mean that next gen SIEM has new detections. It doesn't mean that endpoint security has new alerts or new incidents. It's not like that. Okay, are you all clear? Are you all clear?
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Now let's take a look into the documentation. So in documentation, we have like two portal. Like you see, one is documentation portal and one is documentation. Again, document portal is beta, which is like, I think they are like working and it is not fully rolled out. So maybe not the time to look into it right now. We'll go to the documentation and we'll see how to use the documentation part. So I'm going to click on, I clicked on documentation and now you see you will be under documentation section. You see right there, it's all the documentation. Again, what is this documentation? Documentation will tell you about each and every module, like what is actually it is. Like example, if I take endpoint security, here you see the endpoint security module. Either you can access the modules directly from here, or you can actually filter down right here, like endpoint security. Like you can filter right here, or you can actually check. You can actually expand and then look for each and every options right here. Like likewise, like whatever you feel, you can actually use it for your best way. So here now, let's say I want to access the endpoint security here. So if I access the endpoint security, you can see startup, scale up, and like what it actually is, and you can see about endpoint monitoring, um, endpoint incident monitoring, endpoint detection monitoring. Again, you see legacy and new, which is like old and new. So you can check whatever you just want, and you can see multiple options like what is this quarantine files. Like example, if you see here under endpoint security, you have options, right? I told you under monitor, you have endpoint detections, endpoint incidents, and you have quarantine files, you have on-demand scans. Like what are they? Like you have the entire documentation for it. Like example, let's say you are something new and you don't know what is the quarantine files is. Now you click on it. Now you see, it will give you the entire details about quarantine files. You can see about quarantine files right here. You can view quarantine files. I mean, how to view the quarantine files. It will tell you how to release a file. Like if the file is found to be, uh, you know, legit and it is quarantined by mistake, then you can actually release the file. Like how to release it and how to undo a release. Just in case if you released it and then realized it is suspicious, how to release it, how to download a file, how to delete a file. Like you have FAQs. So it's a complete documentation that will tell you how to release a file with all the process, what it is. It will give you some of the shortcuts like how to access. Like you see how to access, go to endpoint security, click on monitor, and then go to quarantine files. And it is giving you some examples, status deleted, file names, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to release, like this is the entire process. So it's what I mean to say basically is whatever the technical aspects. You remember in the beginning of the session, I told we will be providing you the material for the documentation, right? For the theory part.
Yes, sir.
And I also said for the resources and for the lab part, documentations are already there, which you can actually download. And this is the place where you can actually download. Vikash, can we access this document page post our course? No, until you have your account active, you will be able to access it. So to access this documentation, you should have a valid Falcon account. Now, let's say you want to look into the content files and you have to understand or you have to download it like for future use. So you see this option here, print to PDF.
Yes, sir.
You can download this particular entire documentation. Like let's say I'll show you here. I'll say I am clicking on print to PDF and you'll see all the pages. You can just print or save as the PDF. Like I'll say save as PDF and then I'll click on print. Now you see it is asking me to save the work notes and I can actually save it. Once I save it, I think it is still not saved. Where did I save it? It's only showing the downloads, but that is what not I. It's what not. Maybe I can do it again. Let's see. like print. Come on, save as PDF. And then it is okay, it's under work notes. Okay, fine. Let me replace it. So if I go to my work notes on the desktop, I'll be able to see this particular file. Let me show you that. Where is it? I downloaded quarantine files, right? Okay, yeah, here you go. So this is how your PDF will be downloaded. You see it here? And this you can use it for your read off of your future use. So this is the reason why I said we don't actually need to maintain or do worry about creating a notes while going through the session. So you can easily focus on the session. All right, again, it's all up to you. But if you want to download any related content, you can download it from here. So that is how you download it. So this is all about the documentation. You will have documentation about each and every resource that is available in the Falcon. Every documentation will be available here. So you can actually go to it and then try to understand how they actually work. But you need not to worry because I'll be explaining you most of the details that you are actually required for a SOC analyst. All right, that is what the documentation is. Now let me say about, now let's say you want to know more about quarantine files, like something more, or let's say you are having an issue with the quarantine files and you want to take the help of support because in the documentation you're not able to understand your query and you don't have a response. I mean, you don't find any answer here, and now you want to reach out to the support. Now you have to go to, I mean, for support you had to go for support portal. So click on it. Again, support portal will take you to a different domain, I mean, different page. Be mindful of that. So this is something like, yeah, this is how the support page actually looks like. Okay. Now here you can see. Now, if you want, I mean, here CrowdStrike customer command. Like if you're looking for any of the resources that you want, you can actually type in here, and then it will give you with some of the documentation. Like it will also help you with some of the assistance. Like I'll tell you how that actually happens. Now, if you want to get help on what do you call this? What is it? This one is quarantine files, right? Okay. Now let's say I need to get some help around the quarantine files, and I'll click on search. Okay, it will pull out all the related documentation and FAQs. Now you see, it has multiple sections. One is support knowledge. Okay, if there is any documentation that is already there. Now you see there is an article which is created where the quarantine files are placed, how long they are retained. Now you don't know how long they are retained. Now you can click on it. It's like a Q&A. Somebody already asked and you have it visible for you to check. Now you can see what are those quarantine files, where are those quarantine files located. Like you can see these are the question. Now you can see those locations. For Windows it will be located in this drive, and for Mac this is the location, for Linux this is the location, and how long they are retained. And you can see quarantine files are automatically deleted from the host after 30 days. So from the host, like whatever the file that is saved here, till 30 days you can find that particular file, and quarantine files deleted from the cloud after 90 days. Like, don't worry about it. I'll tell you what this particular details are, what where to check and how to check. Like, it will give you some details which are like not there in that particular documentation. Still, if you want, now again, if you want to look for some product documentation, like whatever we just saw, you can look into it, but it does not has any action for it. And also you can see community, where you actually communicate and you can write here and help the people, right? So just like how the community communication happens. And if there is any webinar on the CrowdStrike quarantine files, like you see, there is a file vintage webinar which is related to it, which was on June 10th. You can actually view it. And in that webinar, maybe they have spoken about quarantine files. And you have CrowdStrike.com, which actually speaks about, it's like the kind of articles they release about each and every feature, and all of this documentation spoke about the quarantine files. And you can see some of the references of YouTube. I mean, for this you don't have, but usually you will have. And there is something called as CrowdStrike University. It'll tell you which course will help you to understand this particular concept, which is quarantine file. So this is how it will help you. Now, despite of all this, I mean, you verified all this and still your query is not sorted out. In that case, you still want to reach out to the Falcon. Then there is something called as case. You see this here, case, and go to the case and create a new case with them and tell them like what you actually need. Now you can see here, right? There is an option for creating a case. Now, once you click on create case, even this is so thoughtful. Now you see my question is related quarantine files, right? So once I give my question here, case title, you will see on your right, you will get complete recommendation about this particular quarantine files. Like they are trying all their best to avoid you to reach out to the support portal. They are trying to provide each and every piece of information at every instance. And next, give the description whatever you want, like what are the details that you actually wanted to, like let's say how to retain the quarantine files for more than more than 30 days, because usually on a endpoint, because usually the files are saved for 30 days. Now let's say I want to check how the files need to be quarantined for more than 30 days. I'll just give the query and you have to give your customer ID. Where you can find the customer ID, I'll tell you how to find it, don't worry. And you have to prefer working time zone, so that in case if they want, they'll call you back. And then you can see the product area, like where you want to have this, like quarantine files is under endpoint security. So I'll select endpoint security. And product topic, you can see it is related to file vintage FIM. So I'll select that. And then you can see if you want, you can add your participant. Let's say if you want to add your client, if you want to add your manager, if you want to add your colleague to this case, you can add them, so that all the communications related to this will be shared with that particular person too. All right. So this is how you use the support case whenever you need an help, or whenever you actually looking for some any additional help than what you actually see here in the environment. So that's about the cases and knowledge. Support, I mean, that is how you usually use the support resources right here. And what are the other resources that you have that we will be covering one by one as we keep going. Okay, I thought documentation and support is something that will definitely help you in the beginning. That's why I just covered. So that's about how you use the navigator and then documentation section right here. And if you go to the middle, you have something called as search, which is the central search. Now let's say this will help you to identify everything. Now let's say I see an example here, WannaCry. Let's say I want to click on WannaCry and see what actually it says. So let's see what happens. This central search, okay, the one in the top. Now you see this WannaCry is looking at each and every module that you have, and it is providing you some of the results. Like for WannaCry, we have 36 results. Like how many adversaries, like how many threat actors are using WannaCry? The known threat actors for Falcon. Threat actors are nothing but the hacker group. One hacker group is using this particular malware, which is WannaCry. And you can see, do you have any detections for WannaCry in your environment?
No.
Do you have,
No
sorry,
detections.
do you have any IP address associated with it?
No,
Do
no.
you have any domains associated? No. But you have any hashes?
Yes, we have.
Of course, yes. In the intelligence, we have hashes. Like if you click on it, it will give you the list of all the hashes. Like you see, these are the hashes that we have. Like you see, fake cry. This malware family is fake cry. And if you want to know more details about this particular hash, click on it. It will take you for malware page, intelligence page. You see there? And it will tell you more about this particular hash. Now you see, this is the hash value. And if I want to know more details about, I mean, here for this, we don't have last seen because we don't have anything in our organization. If you have anything in your organization, you will get to see more details about it. Now you can just take this hash and maybe you can put it in the virus total to know more details about it. Okay. Come on. And let's say I'm going to drop my hash here under the, okay, here in the search, and I'm going to search. Why it's not showing? That's interesting. Is this the old indicator, or it's why a virus totally saying it unknown? That's completely unexpected. Maybe let me take another hash. Yeah, maybe I can take this SHA-256. Maybe it could be an invalid hash that they have given. Now you see, you have 51 engines which detected, and you can see this is related to WannaCry, ransomware WannaCry hash. I mean, again, how to use VirusTotal? I think you all know how to use VirusTotal, right?
Yeah, yes, so we know that.
Right.
Yes, we
Yes.
know.
All right, that is good. Now, this is how you can see those information. Like hashes, you have 24, which is good. Like you have all the hash values. Now, if you want to collect the indicators related to WannaCry, you have those hashes right here. And documentation. Do you have any documentation for WannaCry? No. And but you have 5 reports. What are those reports? Intelligence reports. You have 5 Intel reports right here. You can see if you want to go through it, you can just go through it. If you have a paid version of intelligence, you will get to see more in-depth details about it. Okay. And there is one sandboxing report. So somebody performed the sandboxing of a WannaCry. You can see it here. And you can see that sandboxing report, and you can see all the details, which we will be covering this sandbox as we keep going. And you have 5 malware families which are using WannaCry. That is FakeCry, WannaCry, NotPetya, TwoBands, HowUp. These are the WannaCry families that are understood. I mean, that are seen by the Falcon. But again, these are not in your organization. These are in general, like in generic, as per the threat intelligence. The only detections is something that is in your organization. Am I clear? Isn't it beautiful that you just give one keyword, you will get many details about it. This is my best thing. This is my one of the best features in the Falcon. Like I love it. Just if I read about any new malware in the LinkedIn or on the Twitter, I just put it here. I'll get the complete details if Falcon is aware of it. I'll get the complete details along with the indicators for that particular malware. That is one of the best feature I like. So this is the central search, I would say, which is very useful. And as we keep going to the right, again, I'll cover in depth like what these filters are, how to filter out. That we'll just cover as we keep going. And here there is something called notifications. So this notification is for critical alerts and then announcement. So now let's say you are new to your shift. I mean, you're new. I mean, on your first day, you want to know like what previously happened, right? So if there is any critical alert, it will show up the pop up right here. Like you have pop up for critical alerts and also for announcement. If you have any unread critical alerts, you will get to see here. So this is the first thing that you will be checking for critical alerts. If there is nothing, then you will go for usual business and then check all the detections as per your need. But if you want to check the critical alert, it's like a shortcut that you have it here. And also for the same announcements means these are the announcements from the Falcon, not related to your organization. Like if there is any webinar, if there is any new thing, or if there is any impact for the CrowdStrike, they will send you in the form of announcements. And next you have is quick links. So these are the quick links for release notes, documentation portal, support portal, and then there is something called as ideas. So now after using the Falcon console, if you have any idea that you would like to share with CrowdStrike, hey, this is something I think it could be a little better, then you can always share your idea. They will read it. And if your idea is valid, they will implement it in the next split or the sprint. You got the point? So it's like a quick link, like whatever you can access right here, but these are like quick links that will help you out. And next we have is developer mode. Like the developer mode, if you want to enable, you can do it, but mostly you'll not be doing it. So ignore that. And next you have is your profile. So you can just manage your profile from here. Like let's say I'll look into my account. And if I want to reset my password or if I want to update my MFA, this is where I actually do it. Now you can see, so this is my email and you can see my first name, last name. And whenever you're creating a case, it asks, you remember it asked for a customer ID. You guys remember? And this is where you can see your customer ID. So this is my customer ID. I mean, mostly all the customer ID for us should be same. For every instance, the customer ID should be like same, not unique. And if I want to change my first name, last name, I can always change it from here. But again, as you see, email ID, once it is created, you will not be able to edit it. And next you have is account security. If I want to change the password, I can do it. If you want to reset my MFA, I can do it from here. If I want to, add some of the security keys for authentication, I can do it. So like all the account security things can be done here. And other thing you have is account preference, like time zone, format, which language you need. Like it has like 2 languages right now. And you can do all this. Like if you want to hide the search history, you can actually do it. If you want to subscribe for intelligence reports, you can actually do it. If you want to reset the preferences, you can also do it from here. So this is like basically every UI will have this option. And last but my favorite, easy to switch from dark mode to day mode or light mode. Now you see it. Now currently we are in the dark mode and you can see it is a light mode. So it's easy. It's like one click right here. So that is about the console and how to access different things. I mean, what you actually see, it is what it is. And again, what is it in depth? We'll cover one by one as we keep going. Are you all clear?
Yes. Yes. It's like very interesting to get to know all this.
Yeah, little bit even more interesting once we get into the actual core concepts. Today, just the intro, yes, basics.
Okay.
Just basic. We haven't even touched base the actual things of EDR. It's like just very basic. Just because everybody will get used to we'll have our wavelength matched. That's the only intention of this particular first session. And so that everybody to bring everybody onto the same page, because till for last 1 month you were there with Shulabh, right? His way of teaching is different. My way, everyone's way of teaching is different. So I just want you all to get used to my way of teaching, and then from there I'll accelerate from the next sessions.
Actually, I was getting very interested to know, listening what you are saying. It's very interesting for me. And thanks for explaining in depth everything for me. Yeah, for everyone.
Thanks for the compliment. Hope
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one doubt. So
on.
what is the we are using in the CrowdStrike as the Falcon, right? So we'll use the WannaCry also. Actually, WannaCry and Falcon. What is the difference for that in CrowdStrike?
The okay, I'll tell you. WannaCry is a variant of malware. It's a malware. WannaCry is a malware. It's a ransomware variant.
Okay.
Falcon is a tool, antivirus.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just telling you antivirus as an example. It's an EDR, of which will provide you the protection against these malwares. You got the point?
Yeah.
They're completely different. It's a tool and that's a malware. It's a tool which will defend you from that particular malware. That is WannaCry. Any other questions, Harika?
Actually, there is no any questions, and you
Mhm.
have showed that in the host or somewhere in that malware families. So in that you have shown some malware families like some fake though. So that is you have shown based on the whichever the ID you have given there in having the malware families. It is having the fake role or
Fake
something.
cry.
Yeah, fake cry
So
something.
WannaCry belongs to the family because every malware will have a family. Like
Okay.
the group of malwares is called as malware family. Like how they are grouped based on their behavior. Okay.
Okay.
So that malware family, again, I'll cover more about malwares and this when we speak about threat intelligence module, but I'll give you an overview. So every malware will be a part of malware family, and that malware family is what that fake cry is.
Okay.
You get it?
Arvind, are they hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing Amra Babu. Tell me.
Both products are different or same, sir, in this
Which
EDR and
product?
antivirus.
Okay, that is where I'll speak. I think EDR, I mean, that's where I missed EPP and EDR, right? So once I
Yes.
cover that topic, you will get the complete understanding what it is.
Okay.
Actually, Falcon is an EPP and an EDR both.
Okay.
Not an antivirus, not just an antivirus.
Okay. In EDR also, antivirus, it's
Yeah, it's
inbuilt.
one of the module in the EDR.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, actually, my question is you have showed some ID, right? 7B, if it is in the right side, you have showed in the search bar. So they have given while in the host fake.
I'll show
Fake.
you. I'll
Yeah.
show you. That's a fake cry. So if you go to the malware family, and you can see this one, family name, right? This one you saw. So this is one. Okay, let me show you that because you're just curious, right? I can help you with that.
No. My question is based on that, whatever it is like having some family names like fake cry, ransomware, Windows. So based on the ID, they'll give these names, or we need to keep on their names on that. That is my question.
No, this is not maintained by us. This is maintained by Falcon directly. Okay. And how Falcon maintains it, it is based on the attacker, how they name it, how they actually design it. And based on that category, they will group the malwares. Okay.
Whichever we are giving the incident IDs or whatever ID, based on that, this Falcon will take the malware families.
Okay. Example, tell me one of the malware that you know.
Virus, bomb, Trojan, ransomware,
Yeah.
advisor, spyware.
Okay, let's take Trojan. Okay. So let's say, I'm not sure if Trojan will be able to give us any malware family, but let's see. So let's take Trojan as an example here. So if I take Trojan and then if I go to malware families, this Trojan is part of 123 malware families. You're getting my point? 123 malware family, like TrickBot uses the Trojan, Glob uses this Trojan, like ERMAG uses the Trojan. Like, how can I say this? 123 malware families uses Trojan. I mean, Trojan is the part of 123 families, like groups.
Okay.
You getting my point?
Yeah.
You will slowly get to it. I got your point. You'll slowly get to understand what it actually is as we keep going.
It's like
Well,
curiosity for me, getting more knowledge of this, so we can
Sure,
crack the internet.
we just started. I'm sure you will get the complete details about it. What is it? How to check? What is this malware family? What it belongs to? How it actually help you to in your investigation. I will help you with all that.
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
I know the some part of cybersecurity, so
Hmm.
I
Very
have
good.
I
Hello.
had taken
Yeah.
the course of that, so
Arvind,
completely.
So,
sorry for
Go on.
interruption.
Sure.
So I have one question here.
Yeah, Rohit.
So in the CrowdStrike, so we are
Hmm.
exploring this different kinds of malware. We are exploring different kinds of hash. In
Hmm.
future, we might get this quarantine files. I mean, it might increase. At present, it is 0. In
Of course
future,
it
we
will.
might get
Of
one,
course
2,
it
3,
will.
depending on the
Of course
scenario.
it will. Hmm.
So by exploring these malwares or by
Hmm.
clicking this different type of malware, so the
Hmm.
system won't affect or any malware won't be
No,
installed
no,
here,
this
right?
is no, this is just the cat. It'll just give you the details, no samples,
Okay,
nothing. It'll
just
just
okay,
give
okay.
you. Now, if I click on this, let's say I'm clicking
Uh,
on the Trojan and then Trickbot, okay? I'm
mm,
clicking on Trickbot. It'll just give you the details of it, hash
okay,
software,
okay,
different kind of attackers who uses it. Like if you go to indicators, like you see
okay.
how many indicators you have,
Yeah.
647K. And if you click on it, it will just give you those hash values or
Okay,
domains
just
or
this is for
IP
knowledge
addresses.
purpose and
Intelligence,
exploring purpose.
just for
Intelligence, correct.
intelligence, threat
Intelligence,
intelligence.
okay.
That is what threat intelligence. Like knowing about your threat is nothing but threat
Threat
intelligence.
intelligence.
That is what we are actually doing. Now you see,
Okay,
all
okay,
these are hashes. Now it does not have any sample. Like even if you click on it, it does not have any sample to download.
okay.
I mean, again, of course, it is taken care
Yeah,
of.
follow up on that question. Is that the threat intelligence feed the API has been integrated with the CrowdStrike?
No, it itself has its own intelligence. Your
Okay,
API
this
is
is a
required,
default.
right? It is its own intelligence. API is required. Let's say if you're getting it from a third party, like let's say you have another third party dedicated intelligence tool, and if you want to integrate it with the Falcon, then you need
Yes.
APIs. But this is itself has its own intelligence.
But do we in our environment does we integrated any kind of a third party like for example VirusTotal API we have
Yeah,
integrated with.
of course, 100%.
Okay,
We can do it.
okay, okay.
That we see in the integration part. But
Got it.
for that, you have to ensure you should have a licensed versions. I
Yes,
can't
API
enroll
ID.
with the free. I don't enroll with the free antivirus things. I should have a license to provide.
But for generating the report within the VirusTotal now it is a paid version. Previously we will be able to download it for checking. But now
You know why?
yes.
Business, money.
Hello.
Yeah, Joshna.
Sir, I have a
so
doubt actually.
hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Joshna,
Yeah.
go on. Others, I'll take your question next.
Sir, actually, if we detect any threats from the OS level,
Hmm.
is there any person who will take care of those fixes in cybersecurity? Like,
Hmm. You mean to say from the OS operating system level?
yeah.
Windows has to take care of it. They have to release the updates.
No, is there any particular role has been created in cybersecurity to take care of those?
Okay, I'll tell you. Let's say example, you are using um, okay, we all use VPN, right? I think in
Yeah.
the SIEM experts we use VPN. What is that
Yes, sir.
VPN? I think Cisco. Any connect?
Yeah, it secures the network traffic.
No, I'm saying we are using Cisco AnyConnect, right?
40
FortiGate.
client we are using.
Okay,
40
FortiGate.
client.
Okay, 40 client. Okay, now let's say if your 40 client got some vulnerability and there is an exploit which attackers may use to exploit it. Now, there should be somebody to mitigate it, right? That's what your question is, like who will be taking care of.
Yeah.
So these kind of, I mean, in this scenario, there'll be a team called vulnerability management team. So you as a security analyst, you will understand there is a vulnerability in it, right? And there is an exploit which can be exploited. Now, what you do, you will initiate the communication with vulnerability management team saying that, hey, there is a vulnerability here and this need to be fixed. Okay. Now, vulnerability team will coordinate with FortiGate. and they will get the recommended version for it. Like this is compromise. I mean, this is vulnerable, and what is the remediation for it? If they release a security update, they will just patch it up. You're getting my point? If they don't get a security update, then that will be taken care in a different way, which we'll cover as we keep going. But for your question, Joshna, yeah, there will be a team who will be taking care of it from the application level.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Adarsh, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Adarsh, I hear you.
Yeah, so Trojan is a legitimate, it's look like a legitimate file or application. So how we identify it's a malware or it's a legitimate file or anything like?
Let's see that in the investigation. Once we begin the investigation, there we'll cover. That's like how we, I mean, that's how we have to define based on our investigation, whether it's legit or sus or malicious or benign, or is it like false positive.
Okay, so it is a form of any file or any application like any application working on the legitimate work, and then background they were working some their malware malicious activities.
That what we have to define through our investigation. We have to look into the logs, we have to look into the entire activity, we have to look into the details of the application, and we have to see who is the user who is using it, and then based on entire investigation, we will derive to a point to say whether it's legit or illegit.
Okay, so it's a form of a file only or application also?
I didn't get your point. Every application is like having a file behind.
Trojan now is look like a good application, but in background they working a malicious activity. So it's application also or only a file, like any attachment, malware attachment?
It depends. I think it works both. See, every I mean, if I understood your question correct, Adarsh, every file, every application is nothing but again a file. Like if you want to run WhatsApp, you have to run WhatsApp.exe, right? If you want to open Word, we have to open winword.exe. If you want to open Outlook, you have to use outlook.exe. If you want to use PowerPoint, you have to use PowerPoint.exe. Like every application is an executable file.
Okay.
So if there is any additional file that is attached, let's say you downloaded, like example, let's say you downloaded winword.exe from the internet. Along with winword.exe, if there is any other illegitimate files that are downloaded and then being implemented through this, then that is what we call it as a Trojan.
Okay. And
Got the
file
point?
also applications also, like if some application I downloaded, they're working in like my
That is what I'm saying.
booster.
Application is nothing but the file. It is
Okay, okay, I understand.
You got the point, right, Adarsh?
Yes, yes.
Just the previous question. There's a follow-up question I got. Yes, I mean, you said right. If the vulnerability management team find any kind of vulnerability, let us say any common CVS has been found. So if the server, like for example, there's a dedicated team, server team, Windows Server team, they are saying the version cannot be upgraded. What kind of but in vulnerability scenario, we either need to update that version or we need to patch it. But the Windows Server team is saying that we won't be able to. For example, TLS 1.1, we need to upgrade it to 1.3, like to patch that vulnerability. Server team says that we won't be able to do it. There's a lot of loopholes on it. What kind of scenarios, like what kind of in this situation, what needs to be done?
Sure. So firstly, this is like off question related to endpoint security, but however, I'll address this. So in this situation, again, I do understand there will be some legacy servers which you can't play around. Okay. So in that situation, what you have to do is there is some additional things. Like let's say there is one Windows server which is actually vulnerable for the vulnerability, but where you can't actually patch it up. In that situation, you have to limit that particular server connecting to internet. Like you should not make that server exposed to the internet. You know what I mean? Use that
Yeah,
particular
okay.
legacy server within the network. And again, even within the network, you make sure that server is actually having the proper defense system. What do you mean by defense system? Make sure it has the EDR on it. Make sure it has Falcon updated on it. Make sure it has the WAF on it. Make sure it is sitting behind an IPS. Make sure it
Reverse
is sitting
proxy.
behind a firewall, so
Okay.
that each and every communication going out, coming in is monitored. And if there is any abnormality, of course, you will get an alert.
Okay.
But again, you can't continue permanently like this. But again, you have to raise the risk factor about it, and then you have to get that upgraded. Like either you switch it to a virtual server, which is like very cost effective, or else you get a new server for it.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Arvind,
So
yeah, hi.
go on, Alex.
Okay, just I want to know. I have two questions.
Go
Like
on.
we will be going in the course. We will be going the installations and everything of Falcon, right?
Oh yeah, but that is very minimal. But yeah, we'll go through it.
Okay. Okay. And the second question is, what is the difference between EDR and XDR? Like,
I will cover that tomorrow because we are still at the EPP.
Acha, okay, okay, okay. But
I'll go one by one.
like
Both are not same. Both are not
both are
same.
not same. Acha, both are
I
not
mean,
same.
how can I say? They are same, but with the
Mm-hmm.
different functionalities, extended functionalities.
Okay.
We can say
I'll
advanced
tell you
version of
clearly.
EDR. Can we say advanced
Not
version of
really.
EDR?
Not
Okay,
really.
okay.
It's not an advanced version. It's an extended version of EDR.
Extra, sorry, okay.
Extended version of
EDR.
extended version
It's
of
like coverage. It's like having a more cover. Like, okay, I'll simply give you an example, Alex. EDR is like, what actually EDR stands for?
endpoint
Endpoint detection and response.
And detection and response for
Endpoint.
just
For
an
endpoints,
endpoint.
kind of
Just an
devices,
endpoint.
everything.
Just
Yeah.
an endpoint.
Okay.
Now, XDR. What X stands for?
Extended detection and
Extended.
response.
I mean, you are
Yeah.
extending the detection from the just an endpoint to some other modules like EDR. EDR extending the services for Azure, extending the services for Outlook. I mean, your email activity, extending the
Okay.
services for SIEM, extending your services for firewalls, extending your detection and response for other devices in your network. That is what is called as XDR. You're getting my point?
Yeah.
Securing just an endpoint and working only for endpoint is called EDR. And increasing the foothold and having the more coverage and integrating Azure's firewalls, IAM, other tools with the EDR is called as XDR. That is the next big thing.
Okay.
Clear? Don't get confused. Again, I'll try to cover the basics of an XDR. Basics.
Okay.
There you will get some more idea about it.
Okay.
Any other questions, Alex?
No, thank you.
No problem. All right, we already crossed 12 minutes than our scheduled time. I think I tried to address most of your questions. And again, as it is a first session, I would like to request you for, the kind of feedback. Am I going okay? Do you feel I'm going fast? Do you feel I'm going slow? Just give me your opinion based on, I will tune up for the next upcoming session so that we can maintain that speed and momentum.
You are just perfect.
You're perfect, sir. It's going very slow and getting concept is very good for us. We get understanding for that. Yeah.
Perfect. Then I'll try to maintain the same
Yeah,
speed
we
and
can.
the same flow.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. It was very interactive. I kind of really like the people. The way you respond back, I really appreciate it. I'm really, really excited to, have further sessions going and try to share my best of the knowledge about the EDR and make sure you all, absorb same kind of knowledge from me on that. With that, I would say have a great weekend and see you all next Saturday.
I just want to, I'm sorry. I just want to ask you the session would be for Saturday or Sunday or only for Sunday next week?
No, it will be Saturday, Sunday. Actually, it was
Okay.
supposed to be on Saturday, but I have I had another schedule, so that's why I had to cancel on Saturday. From the next week, it will be Saturday and Sunday from 8:30 a.m. IST till 11:30 a.m. IST.
And how many classes we are going to get for this EDR session?
We initially planned for 4 weeks, and let's see how that goes.
Okay. Okay. And we will get the recording also on Monday, like tomorrow.
As communicated.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So, one question from myself. So, whatever the concepts are completed, like 4 or 5 weeks, so it will be help for the interview, how to prepare that, and resume also for the EDR concept. What is the
Oh
main?
yeah, 100%. But I haven't added the resume part here in itself because earlier it used to be here in the EDR session, but we moved it to the AI. Building your resume using artificial intelligence.
Okay.
There, I will help you like how to add the pointers for EDR, how to add the pointers for Splunk, how to add the pointers as per the JD that you are actually appearing for. So there, I'll help you more about it. That'll be more useful.
Today, can you share the documents, sir?
Oh yeah, I just had to make little modifications. Once it is done, I'll share it with you. So before we leave, I have something to tell you all. So I have given you some work to do. Like you guys have to do some homework kind of thing. One is understand about PowerShell and how PowerShell works and how attackers are using PowerShell or abusing PowerShell. Okay. And next
Okay.
thing is for next week, be ready with type of malwares. I already mentioned you like what is Trojan, what is virus, what is fileless malware, what is ransomware, what are the different variants of it, how they actually work. Try to get some basic idea about it so that it will be easy for us to do some deeper discussion here in the sessions.
So, if you don't mind, can you keep on the chat or in the WhatsApp
Oh
group?
yeah,
So,
I'll send it after this session.
yeah.
Ashwin, I see your message. You have a doubt. Yeah, shoot. Oh, before that, we are done with the session. Like I know people who may run late. Please feel free to drop off. We are done with the session for today. Ashwin, yeah, I'm there for you. So okay. If you are working in an organization and there is some sensitive database or files that need to be secured, if one of the systems are compromised, then the attackers has modified any file to ensure the integrity of it. Do you need to save the hash value of each file in a data? No, you will have a backup of it, right? Every host is taking a backup. Every system will have a backup, and backup will have all the files with the hashes. There you can actually compare which one was modified, which one was not. It is already taken care along with the backup of your system, Ashwin. No problem. All right. With that being said, see you all next week. Wish
Yeah,
you
thank you very
happy
much, sir.
weekend and have a great week ahead.
Thank you,
Catch
sir.
you all
Thank you
next
so much
Thank
for
you
your
so
next
much,
time.
sir.
Saturday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Have a
Have a
everyone.
great
nice
Thank
day.
weekend.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Arvind.
Bye.
Have a
Bye
nice
bye.
day, sir.
Thank
You
you,
all
Thanks,
too.
Arvind.
Arvind.
You all too. Bye.
Thank you, sir.